Are you struggling with chronic swelling in the feet, ankles, and toes that just won't budge no matter how hard you try? If you're dealing with this really stubborn swelling that's hardening the tissue and skin, and basic compression stockings really just aren't cutting it, then you're in the right place. My name is Kelly. I am a physical therapist that specializes in lymphedema as well as in oncology. And in this video, we're gonna go through advanced tips designed to tackle those tough cases of swelling in the foot and ankle. Now, before we dive in, it's really essential to clarify that these tips are not for general swelling. Instead, they're tailored for those dealing with chronic swelling or lymphedema that has reached a more advanced stage, like talking about hardening or thickening. If someone's been using compression garments and doing lymphatic drainage and it hasn't been enough, these are for you. But if you're just starting your journey to manage new swelling or leg swelling, then you want to check out one of the other beginner-friendly videos on my channel for how to manage this swelling. And I will link one of the options up above here. So because compression is always ideal when it comes to swelling and even that thick and hardened tissue, we want to try to add in an insert with your general compression, and that can be really helpful. So the bones on the outside of your ankles are called the malleoli, and they protrude outwards, which leaves this crevice for the fluid to sit around there. When you place a compression stocking or bandage over the top of this area, they aren't going to do a great job of really sinking into those crevices. And as a lot of you know who are watching this, this can be a really challenging place because of the shape of the ankle. And if you can't get the fluid from those crevices, then the swelling is going to linger, and so will that thickening and hardening. So we need to think about filling in this gap. We can use various foams or paddings, but simple ones that I like are 𝐏𝐫𝐲𝐻𝐿's soft compress. These are malleol pads. They come in a pack of 2, and as you can see, there'd be a place for it to sit around the bone to really hook around the ankle, and you would put this under your other compression or bandage over the top to again fill in that gap, fill in that crevice to try to soften it. It does have the chipped foam pads inside to help soften that fibrosis while also giving that good compression. Another option are L&R's Comprex or the kidney rubber pads, and they're different sizes you can see. They are flat on one side and then curved on the other. So the curved side would go against the skin to get into those crevices like we talked about, and then we would bandage over and around that. Again, the goal is to get into those hard to reach spots, to give some compression, and to try to soften this area. Both of these options are pretty low on price, and they both can last a really long time. So I will place links down below for someone can check these out, and you can go ahead and grab one for yourself. For the general foot and ankle area, being the furthest from your heart and most prone to filling because of gravity, it's really important to have higher compression lower compared to up by your thigh. So this creates a pressure gradient to move fluid out. Some garments, compression garments, do this, but it's not always enough. So an easy option to help manage that extra fluid in the foot and ankle long term with your stocking is to add another layer, such as an anklet. A compression anklet is a great, cheaper way to give proper compression or increase that gradient if needed. They're thin enough so you don't add a lot of bulk. So when you're trying to get your shoes on, it's not a lot more layering. And they do come off the shelf, and you can get them for under about $20. Having a pair or 2 in your drawer ready for the days that you need a little extra compression can be a really great idea, and it can be really helpful for this issue. Lastly, let's address the toes. So not everyone gets toe swelling, but those that do know how challenging it can be to manage. There are 2 options that are outside the use of a general toe cap. So here's a toe cap. This is kind of like a glove for the toes. And these are meant for the evening or to use while at home. I have shown this before, but by using gray foam underneath your toe bandages, you cut slits to separate the toes and then bandage over the top. This can really help give compression on your toes, and it does a better job of getting that fluid finally moving out of there. So again, this is a little bit different, a little unique, but if someone's having a hard time with toe wraps alone, then adding a little compression, but still separating the toes can be helpful. Or LNR also has a toe swell spot padding that can also be supportive, especially at night. This can be worn by itself, and sometimes people will use this and then wrap over the top or wear something like a compression liner over the top for more comforting compression. There are so many different ways and options that many I learned from my own patients teaching me what worked for them. So if you have something that worked for you for one of these areas, please share it in the comments below to teach someone else. Make sure to press the like button if you found this video helpful, and we'll see you all in the next video. Thanks, everyone.